you know, these are the dimensions. You don't have to try and mess with much. Okay, let's get over here, move that back. Now this is going to take a little bit more. So you need quite a few variables. We need a float array, and this is going to be called timer amount. We're going to set that to editable, and I'm going to give it 3 values. And what this is it's actually setting the amount of time that different groups of boxes are going to move at. So some of the groups are going to move at 1 second, some are at 2 seconds, some are at 3 seconds, is pretty much what this is going to be. I'm going to make that editable. Then your second one, we need an int. And that is going to be called current timer group. We'll get to that in just a little bit here. Then we need an actor array. And this is going to be called contained actors. So this is actually going to be an array of the actors that are being passed into this this section here, so that you can assign a timer to them. Boom. And we do not, I believe timer amount might be the only editable variable in this. We want the rest of them to be private. Let's see, actor array, int array, there we go. We need an integer array, and this is going to be called timer group matched, which again we'll get to in just a minute. And then another int array called move back group. Okay, so that's all the variables we'll need. Let's see, event begin and play. We'll do contained actors. Now we're going to use a get overlapping actors. And this kind of works a bit like get all actors of class, except it's only getting the actors that are overlapping the object. So in this case, when we begin play, it's going to check what actors are already inside of the box. We want moving platform, and we're going to go ahead and set that. We're going to get the length. So this is just pretty much giving an integer value of how many objects are in this array. So if there's 4 boxes, it's going to return 4. Use that, resize, and we're going to resize the timer. Let's see, I believe it's the timer group matched. Yeah. So we're going to resize the timer group matched to the same size of our contained actors array. It's a really handy way to do multiple arrays that interact with each other at once if they're containing pretty much the same information or similar information. Let's see here. I need a for each loop from here. I'm going to move this up so you can kind of see what's going on here. And let me add a reroute node. That way it's all nice and clean and you can kind of see the general flow of logic. Okay, now the for each loop, boop, I'm going to move that right over here, and let's see. Need a set array element. Timer group matched is going to be the target array here. Index is going to be the array index. The item is going to be a random int in range. Which, with the minimum being 0, and the maximum being, let's see, the length of timer amount minus 1. So because arrays work on a 0, 1, 2 scale, but the length actually counts the individual components, you want to make sure it's length minus 1 so that it's not going, okay, well there's 3, so that's 0 to 3. Now it's going to be 0 to 2, which is, let's see, oh, right here. So in the elements you want 0, 1, or 2. There we go. So that's the first little bit here. I'm going to move this over here a little bit so that we can get our completed going on. Alright. Now we're going to set a timer. We're going to set that for, let's say, 5 seconds, looping. I believe object is self. Function name is going to be move platforms. There we go. And we're actually going to set this to a little bit lower. We're going to do this at 0.5 instead of 5. Let's see. Sorry, I'm running over some notes that I took for this because it was fairly lengthy, so I wanted to make sure I get everything and didn't forget anything. So sorry if I sound a little bit lost. I'm actually just reading the notes to make sure I get everything in here so it works the first time. So time looping is true. Alright, we need a delay node. Now, like I said earlier with the delta time and the interrupt speed, you want to make sure that these have the same number. Because if you don't, since we're going to be moving all of these boxes at the same time, let's say you have one at 0.5 and one at 1, they're going to start moving at different scales, which is going to cause it to go, okay, well these are going to jump up, now they're going to go back down while these are coming up. Oh, but now they're wanting to go down again, and then these are supposed to go down, and then they're going to go too far down, and it gets just really, really screwed up. And especially if you're trying to keep them all within the same general location, it can cause a lot of problems. Okay, we're going to create a second timer after this delay, which is going to be move back. Object is going to be self, and I'm actually going to do a get reference to self. That way there is absolutely no way it can say, hey, you didn't plug anything in here, because we did. Okay, boom. Array, okay. So now, that is the beginnings of this, where it's event begin play, get your overlapping actors and set that to your actor array, set your, or resize your timer group to actually be the same size as your contained actors. Run a for each loop off of the contained actors array. Come all the way over here to set array element, and you want to set timer group matched to the array index with a random integer in range of timer amount, which is basically just saying, hey, we're going to set each individual object in timer group match to an individual timer. That's pretty much all this is saying. And then you're setting these 3 timers to actually run the scripts that are coming below. I'm going to go ahead and give custom events, move platforms, get a second custom event, move back. There we go. Make sure those are the same as my timers, move platforms, move back. Okay, so these 2 functions are now going to become functions from these timers. So once they start, these are going to start running. Okay, let's see. Function name, move platforms. Okay. We're going to get a for each loop for timer groups matched. Save that real quick. get a branch. Let's see. Get an equals equals integer if array element is equal to our current timer group, then we can continue. And then we're going to cast this to our moving platform. And let's see. Check pin. Okay, we need to get our contained actors array. There we go. We're going to set the index to the index of the for each loop. So what this is going to do is for each index, it's going to check the contained actor and make sure that it is in fact a moving platform. Then we're going to call moveMe, which was the function we set up inside of the moving platform right here. So now it should start running this once we actually start the timers. Compile, save it. Then let's see, for the completed events, we're going to set current timer group. And I believe we're going to set that to current timer group +1. Yes, we are. And then we're going to run a branch. We're going to do a greater than, oh, not time span. Bloop, don't need that. Greater than, not less than. Okay. There we go. So I'm going to check current timer group. I'm actually going to do a separate variable here. No, well, this should work. Minus my numbers, not yeah, there. That's the one I want. We need to get the length of, let's see, timer amount -1. There we go. So it's kind of the same thing up here, where it's checking your timer amounts, getting the length of that -1 greater than. So it's checking to make sure that if your timer group goes all the way through the 3 different array variables that we have in here. If it is true, we're going to set current timer group to 0. Now, great news is you've pretty much already got all of the functionality you need right here. All we need to do is copy and paste, plug in, move back. We've got all of our stuff compiled and saved, making sure to save. Then let's come over here to our platform mover. So just set up a simple box here. Then grab your moving platform. And I want a lot of rows. I'm